content at Event Marketer, and I'm joined by Juanita Chavarro-Arias, our managing editor, and Kate Shea, senior editor and manager of digital content, and our curator of The Brief, a weekly dispatch on LinkedIn and eventmarketer.com featuring experiential campaigns and marketing news. And this is The Brief Live, our monthly recap of that coverage. However, we're taking a detour this week as Kate and Juanita have returned from San Diego Comic-Con. We'll be talking about what they saw and heard, but before we begin, Comic-Con is known for its photo ops, and we're going to share a few of our own from that event and beyond. I'll kick things off with what might be the most jarring of them all, an AI art portrait demo inspired by Hisense's Art TV that was showcased at CES. Using an AI-powered app, I selected scenes and styles that spoke to me, and then was sent this image via email and also received a printout. I don't know about all of you, but anything AI generated for me tends to give off hocus pocus vibes. From a flat image to a flying video clip, Kate, let's see what you got.
This may be one of the more ridiculous photo ops I have ever done. So this was part of Google Play's Fantastic Four Rewards Lab activation. And so you're going through this really cool kind of conveyor belt a journey, and then you end up at the end at this photo moment, which when you're posing for feels so ridiculous. You can see it. But the result is so much fun, like flying through the air like a superhero, like one of the Fantastic Four. This is not a photo op I will forget anytime soon, so I think it's a good one.
Neither will we, Kate. We'll put this in rotation in the group chat. All right, Juanita.
Yeah, it was hard to pick two because I really enjoyed that one. That was definitely a highlight photo op, but mine was from the Paramount Plus The Lodge, and one of the spotlighted series was NCIS Tony and Ziva. And so for their video op, you were added to a wanted poster with the lead characters. And so you held a pose for a few seconds, and then the brand ambassador would be like, now, and then you broke out and moved however you wanted. And so I took it as really a dramatic glam moment.
I can attest to that. I watched.
Okay. So in the description below, you'll find some of our favorite headlines from The Brief this month, from frozen lotion by EOS to a cheesesteak race by Oscar Mayer to a 700-pound pigeon for FIFA Club World Cup. Trust us, it will make sense. But right now, we're headed to the gas lamp district. Kate, Juanita, what did you see?
Yeah, so I can start us off with one of our favorites was Disney's Percy Jackson experience. We showed up, I think, the first day it started, and the line had been there, I think, for already like 3 hours. It was incredible. So it was this, mock diner experience. And highlight is you're inside there, and then this narrative plays through these interactive windows. So an actor is kind of guiding you through the story of, a sea monster coming to get you. And you see it in the windows. You even see it looks like, like a tentacle crashes the window. It's really cool. And then you are guided over to what looks like a deli counter, and you pick up your order, which is swag. And if you've gotten, the right coin, I forgot what it stands for, but you have to get this specific coin, and you get either a hat or a shirt. And there are three women, I don't know the series that well, but there are three women manning this deli counter that are absolutely ridiculous. They're supposed to be these older kind of crazy witch ladies. They were phenomenal. They stole the show. But I will say one thing that also caught my attention was they just had little Easter eggs. So there was this one billboard that had a number on it that you could call, and before the activation had even started, they had also put some wild postings up with the number. They had something like 2,700 calls to that number, like the activation hadn't even started. So they were definitely serving the super fans for this one. So, kudos to them.
Kate and I had talked about how the influence of theme parks and attractions was strong at San Diego Comic-Con this year. And like, if you think about Adult Swim's Purrrty on the Green had inflatable slides and bounce houses. And ABC's A Very Abbott Block Party popped up a Ferris wheel. So definitely a lot of fun to be had. But there were two standout activations that incorporated ride experiences. And the first one is Peacock, to promote the season 2 of Twisted Metal, recreated the post-apocalyptic world with a bumper battle derby tournament, which is based off of season 2. And so you basically get into bumper cars and you're riding around, and this new character, Calypso, hosted the event and commented on the action. And Kate can attest that he had a creepy laugh, like definitely something that struck fear in you. And he actually got on me for not crashing into enough cars. So it was so fun and a little scary, especially with this character, Sweet Tooth. It's a clown, and he started banging his machete on the walls as we rode around. And there were also these dolls staring at us. So definitely full immersion there. But then the second one that really was fun was based on the Battle Royale game, Brawl Stars. And it came to life in a 45-minute adventure at Starr Park. And it started with a ride on the Starr Rail where we went into a monorail car. We were led by a tour guide, and there were special effects on screens, lighting, sounds, and it made it seem as we were blasting off and going off the rails and just hitting all these crazy destinations. And we would hit buttons to boost the car, we would pull the brakes to stop. And so we came in on one side and then we emerged out of the other. And that's when the doors opened into Starr Park and we got to try these themed carnival games and collected gems and prizes. And it was just an incredible simulated ride to get into park.
Yeah.
For sure. And so I guess I will now take you through the most terrifying part of Comic-Con. So I took one for the team. Juanita did not want to do a couple of these terrifying experiences, and I absolutely do not blame her, but somebody had to do it, so I did it. So, there were two that stood out as kind of horror or at least just scary themed activation. So one of them was FX's Alien Code Red. So this took place as the sun was going down strategically. And it was this kind of narrative about these alien specimens escaping, and you're kind of going from like station to station as the scene is ramping up. You've got these actors rushing you along like, you're going to get bitten, you're going to die, this whole narrative. They have all these incredible little installations of what these aliens are supposed to look like. And by the end, you're like, there's a brand ambassador that's been injured, and she's like, my colleague was taken out. You see like what looks like a dummy on the floor that's supposed to be dead. And unbeknownst to us, this guy jumps up at the end and terrifies all of us. He's got like an alien kind of hugger on his face, and when you leave the experience you realize that was kind of a GIF moment, and so you just watch yourself jump scare, and it was a totally hidden photo moment. You had no idea, so that was fantastic. And the second was AMC's Clown in a Cornfield, which if that title doesn't scare you alone, there's something wrong with you. So this was just the haunted house of your nightmares. I hate haunted houses, I hate jump scares. It was the real deal. We had like chainsaw wielding clowns. I mean, the darkest activation I've ever been through. You're trying to like make your way through a cornfield. Real corn, by the way. Kind of cool. And then by the end, it actually turns into kind of like this escape room moment where there's a clown that has, set off a bomb that you've got to defuse by escaping this room. And, there's the actors, moving you along. So that was fantastic. And then you go out into like the regular world and it's just this cute little carnival and you win prizes and stuff, but I think that's kind of where your heart rate is allowed to drop. And I was talking to 3CS who produced the experience, and they said just in case they had an EMT on site because people really do kind of freak out at these things. So that's probably a testament to how good it was.
Wow.
Yeah, and I have to add that the live actors were really who made these experiences possible. Like, we were surprised at how many experiences had actors there to bring all of these to life. And I mean, they committed to their characters. They latched on to these traits that only fans would know. And they really engaged all of us. Like at Twisted Metal, the dolls were roaming around and they were like, join us. And I was like, no, thank you. I think this is like one of the funniest ones was the two sisters who led us into the train at Starr Park.
Oh,
They had like this like sibling squabbles going on, and our tour guide, as she's like shutting the door, she's like, Dad called and he didn't mention you once again, and she shuts the door, and it was just so real and funny. And so like we gotta give it up to the live actors because they just added so much to the experiences, and I don't think we would be talking about them as much if they weren't there.
I agree, and if they weren't the caliber that they were, because they really never broke team. Like they were so good, and a lot of it is that they're snarky, so they're kind of like messing with you, and that's really fun, I think, unless you're particularly sensitive.
I think it's great. And, we talk about San Diego Comic-Con as this key tentpole. I think it's becoming even more so lately with the way entertainment brands are turning to experiential with this world building. And that's what you always find at Comic-Con, right? It's the epicenter of that. And you mentioned Google Play earlier, Kate, and I thought about the conveyor belt moment they used throughout. And sometimes you don't want to feel human.
It is a sweet escape. It really is.
All right, so you're going to find a lot more coverage of Comic-Con at eventmarketer.com, as well as on our Instagram. Check out all the great clips and reels Kate and Juanita put together. And thanks for tuning in to The Brief Live July edition. We'll see you back here next month. Until then, be sure to subscribe to The Brief LinkedIn newsletter. Happy summer.